நீங்கள் இங்கே வந்து இந்த டேப் வந்து தான் வச்சுருக்கோம்.
இந்த டேப்
அப்போ தான் இங்கே இந்த டேப் நீங்கள் வந்து கரண்ட்டாக வச்சுருக்கீங்கன்னா அதுதான் அங்கே டிஸ்பிளே.
அப்போ கூகுள் மீட்டோடது தான் வச்சுருக்கோம்.
ஆமாம், நீங்கள் சப்போஸ் வேறு டேப் சேஞ்ச் பண்ணிங்கன்னா அங்கே சேஞ்ச் ஆகிடும்.
நான் வீட்டில் பார்க்கும்போது மாறிச்சு.
ஸோ உங்களுக்கு ஸ்ட்ரீமிங் எல்லாம் வந்துட்டு
இப்போ இதெல்லாம் எனக்கு இப்போ எதாவது சேஞ்சஸ் பண்ணணும்
எங்கே மேடம்?
இல்லை, இப்போ இது வச்சுட்டு நம்ம இதில் இப்படியே தான் இருக்கும்.
இப்போ நீங்கள் என்ன பண்ணுங்க, இன்னொரு லேப்டாப் எதாவது இருந்துச்சுன்னா யூடியூப் அதில் பண்ணிக்கணும். ஐ மீன் யூடியூப் ஸ்டுடியோ அதில் பண்ணிக்கணும்.
Participants are kindly requested to mute your mic.
இதெல்லாம் என்னோட ஃபோனில் அப்போ யூடியூப்பில் எப்படி போயிட்டுருக்குன்றது நம்ம வாட்ச் பண்ணிக்கலாம்.
So it's on live. நீங்கள் ஒன்றுமே செய்ய தேவையில்லை. நீங்கள் இது முடிஞ்சதுக்கப்புறம் நீங்கள் இங்கே வந்துட்டு எல்லாமே டிஸ்பிளே ஆகிடுது.
A pleasant morning to everyone gathered here for the induction program. I take the honor of welcoming Dr. Bami, Director, MBA at Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science, your faculty members and beloved friends. Today we have amidst us Mr. Victor Wasan, Supervisor, IT Networks, UCLA Health USA with us for today's session. It's such an honor to welcome you, sir. Now I request Dr. Bamini, Director, MBA, to deliver the welcome address.
A warm and pleasant morning to all here. It is indeed a great pleasure and a great year, a great beginning today, because we are today starting the classes or the induction for the first years. I am very elated to welcome our chief guest, Mr. Victor Wasan Kumar, who has succeeded a lot, and I'm sure he is going to give you a lot of learnings. My dear students, choosing the best college, that is what you have done right now, because our college has a rich heritage and a tradition, and we imbibe values that take you to greater heights and success in your life. My dear faculty colleagues, it's an honor again to welcome you to this August session. My dear students, the importance of professionalism in MBA program is what you're going to do, or is what you're going to have as an experiential learning in these 2 years that you're going to be with us. Please be respectful and improve your communication. We will help you to be working in team, also at the same time helping you to hone your leadership skills. Have a willingness to learn, a commitment and adaptability so that you are able to shine in the world of business. We encourage you at this point to create a LinkedIn profile. You might have an FB the Facebook profile or the Insta profile or any other social media profile, but we encourage you today to take up and create a LinkedIn profile apart from your other social media platforms, so that you create a visibility among the hirers, among the recruiters, and you will be successful in getting a job, or sometimes you might be wanting to be an entrepreneur. You can get in some venture capitalists, some angel investors, and so on. So the first thing that you would be doing is to create a LinkedIn profile. These 2 years We request you to work hard and you will see that you will week induction program to all our freshers for creating the platform and for creating an awareness among you regarding the MBA program. So this is the 2 weeks that we help you to prepare the challenges in the VUCA world. So what is VUCA? A world which is a volatile, uncertain, complex and ambiguous. Now this word VUCA was coined by Warren Bennis and Bert Norris in the year 1987, but it still holds good even today. I would like to end my speech with uh, a quote from Charles Handy. He is an Irish economic and social philosopher. He says, whereas the heroic manager of the past knew all, could do all, and would solve every problem, the post heroic manager asks how every problem can be solved and he develops a way for other people's capacity to handle it. So you not only have to develop yourself to be responsible enough, but you should also be able to develop yourself in such a way that you will be equipping your peers to be able to handle any situation at any given time. With these few words, I once again take this opportunity to welcome our chief guest, our dear parents, our students, and my dear faculty colleagues. Thank you. Over to Carolyn.
Thank you, ma'am, for your finest words of welcome. Now I request Dr. Nagaprakash to talk about the department highlights.
SRCAS Charitable Trust was founded in the year 1970 by the illustrious sons of Sri S.N. Rangasamy Naidu, who was an ardent devotee of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. The trust was founded on 9 February 1970 in order to fulfill the dreams of a great philanthropist and a man of vision, late Sri S.N. Rangasamy Naidu, by his four sons, namely late Sri Chinnasamy Naidu, late Sri P.R. Ramasamy Naidu, late Sri Doraisamy Naidu, and late Sevaratna Dr. R. Venkateswara Naidu. About our MBA department, SRBS offers a 2-year full-time MBA program comprises of foundational, functional, integrative, and elective courses, along with extracurricular and co-curricular activities. The program is designed to provide a strong foundation to the students on the fundamentals of management, enrich their knowledge on functional areas of management. About the highlights, approved by our institute is approved by All India Council for Technical Education. SRBS is ranked among the top 50 B schools by Career Links and was awarded by Best Private Institutions for Arts and Science College by India Today. The Week magazine has rated SNR Science College among the top 50 colleges in India. The Academic Insights magazine awarded SRBS with the top 20 promising B schools. And talking about the course highlights, we include experiential learning, innovative pedagogy, study abroad in Malaysia and Singapore, case-based and gamified learning, entrepreneurial support, assured placements, and ranked among the top India's B school by Business School. One is behavioral competency.
Thank you, sir. Indeed, our college and our department has a rich heritage. Now to spell out a few words about our chief guest, Mr. Victor Vasin. He started his career at CSS Corp Aruba Networks in the year 2006. It was 6 long years, and he created a strong foundation in network technologies. He moved to Cisco Systems Bengaluru. He was one among the highly skilled network specialists, responding to the critical business needs of high-profile organizations through Cisco. In the year 2016, he moved to University of California, Los Angeles, Health, USA, in network architecture and design as senior principal engineer. To say a few words about UCLA, it is placed number 1 in LA and California and 4th nationally in national ranking published by World Report. He is a licensed wireless network administrator. He is highly knowledgeable and committed at work. He has always demonstrated a can-do attitude and has the ability to explain complex problems in simple terms. We are deeply honored to have you with us, sir. Over to you.
Hey, good morning. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Excellent. Very good morning. Dr. Bhamini, Director of School of Management, professors, batch of 2020, and I think there's a few parents. Very good morning to all of you. Good to see you all. You guys have made a great decision. MBA is not something everybody gets to possess. All of you are lucky. So today, during the induction, I was gonna go ahead and share with you a few tips and tricks that's gonna help you get out as a successful leader of small work. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna see if I can present something real quick. 1 second. All right. Screen 2. Do you see my screen? Can somebody confirm?
Yes, we can see your screen, sir.
All right. So do we see a white notepad or do we see a PowerPoint?
No, we see your, we see the PowerPoint.
Excellent. Very good. Okay. So here's the topic of today. My goal, my time. I'd like to start off with a couple of questions. Do I have a clear written goal for my future? And do I have a plan to accomplish them? These 2 questions are the most important questions for us to start with. If we do not have a goal, it is something like you're driving a BMW on a foggy day. Even if you have a fully powered car, you're not able to drive with the full force of the BMW that you drive. But when you get to set goals, and when you write them, when the goals are clear, it is like the fog getting cleared away, and you use the full potential of your engine to drive past the road. An average person with clear goals can go much, much further than a genius who's not sure on what he's going to do. There were several researches that happened in this particular subject. What you see on your screen now is a research at the Harvard Business School. they had a survey for a batch of management students. And they asked, hey, how many of you had written goals? 3% had written goals. 13% had goals, but it was not in written. It kept changing. And 84% did not even have specific goals. They left it there 10 years later. The 13% who roughly had some goals were earning twice as much as the 84%, and the top 3% was earning 10 times as much as others. So, you setting a goal on what you're going to do tomorrow is the first thing. It doesn't end there. After we set a goal, we got to allocate time to it. Your goal could be you become a financial expert. Your goal can be like you become a CTO or CEO. You invent your own company. Or it could be as simple as I want to learn how to make biryani. Or it could be as simple as I want to go to the gym. I need to be a six-pack. Or it could be like I want to spend a few hours with my parents every week. Your goals can be anything. The goal is just not your career goal. It's not your work goal. It could be anything. Your practices, your habits, everything that we do makes us a better man tomorrow. While you have your goal, like I said, the next important thing is time management. You got to prioritize and allocate time to your goal. If your goal is to achieve a certification on something, you got to put it into one of these 4 buckets. Is that goal important and urgent, which I should do first? You got to put it over there. Or you may have a different goal that you want to learn how to make bread, or you want to know how to make biryani, right? It's not important, not urgent, so it is less priority. So the first thing is a goal, and then the time you put onto the goal, towards the goal, and where does your time and goal fit into, which bucket that it fits into. This, when it gets aligned with your goal, would put you on track. So, what you see here on the screen is from Gartner. Gartner is a company who analyzes today's industry standards, and they segment the companies into 4 quadrants. As you see, you got challengers, leaders, visionaries, and niche players. Look at how many people are in the lower left quadrant. A lot. And there's only a very few on the top right quadrant. If you look at this graph closely, one of the axes is completeness of vision, and the other axis is the ability to execute. I bring this up here because we can use this kind of today's industry standard on how people look at a growth of a company. We can use the same logic to compare your growth as a person. When you have a goal and when you allocate time to it, you got to look at, are we progressing on this? Are we tracking this? How is my vision moving on? How is my ability to execute moving on? And when these two, your vision and your execution, when both go hand in hand, when both are growing, then you get to the leader quadrant. That is when you just surpass everybody and get to the top of the list. So I'm going to just quickly dive into, okay, goals, time, okay. Tell me what's going on in today's market. I know most of you will have that question. So I'm going to dive into this. What is today's market looking for? First thing, the market is looking for an expert. There's a lot of competition today. If I know certain skills, I can be an employee tomorrow. But am I able to reach the top? Am I able to invent my own product? Am I able to become the chief? You got to be the expert. You can see a list of skills in demand on the screen today. It is not just you possess one of the skills. Like, take an example. Search engine optimization, search engine marketing, one of the bullets that you see is huge today. Cloud computing is huge. AI is huge. It doesn't mean that you got to go ahead and you got to learn a lot about that stuff. You got to go one step beyond that. You got to be the expert in what you're doing. So when you set your goal should be, I got to be the expert in sales leadership. I got to be the expert in video production. It all depends on your passion. Choose what your heart desires, and you got to be the expert. The market is just not looking for a person who knows a skill. The market is looking for a person who's an expert at it. So, start today. Like I started with a few questions, I'd like to end with a few questions. You got to keep asking yourself the I questions. Am I up to date? Do I have the soft skills? Do I associate with the right people? The last one in this list is very important. Just don't go with whatever exists. How can you contribute to improve the situation? That is when inventors are born. How can I? That's how Windows came in. How can I improve communication? That is how the company called Cisco came into the picture. That is how any big startup came in, when people thought, how can I improve? How can I contribute to improve something? Keep thinking. And again, it is your goal and how you attach your time to your goal, which is get you to a successful leader model. I'd like to stop there for some questions. Any questions?
Pari, you had a question and you can voice out now. You can unmute and speak, Pari. Pari, you raised your hand. Yeah, you can unmute and speak.
Let me see if I can see you guys on the video. Don't feel shy. I like people only who ask questions. It can be anything. Don't worry about it. Any questions?
Students, if you have any question, you can unmute and speak. Sir, since this is the first session, maybe they are hesitant to voice out for the session.
Perfectly fine.
Hello, sir.
I can hear you. Sriram?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Sriram. How are you?
Fine, sir. What about you?
Very good. Excellent. Thank you.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go with your question.
Sir, can I get a copy of the PPT to refer in future?
Absolutely. I actually I read a lot of books. Some of these are from one of the books that I really love from Brian Tracy. You can also pick that book. The book is called Gold by Brian Tracy. Some of the points that I put into this presentation was inspired from Brian Tracy's books. But Sriram, you got it. You will get the slide deck.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hey, Sriram, you got the first question, man. Ask me something else.
Okay, so I need to get out the full topic and gather some more questions.
Okay. No. I think I'm done with my talking for today. So because we had a time limit of we got to complete in an hour, so I wanted to reduce my talking and make it more interactive. So I'd like to give the opportunity. I can see 82 people in this meeting. I want to give the opportunity for people to ask questions. It could be anything, like any question, whatever is in your mind. Feel free to throw it up.
Okay, so I want to know about the entrepreneurship.
So your question is kind of generic. Entrepreneurship. What do you want to know?
I want to get some ideas about doing business and take care of managing and some sort of things. I want to lead the.
Okay, great. So not everybody is going to think like you, Sriram. Now, if you look at one of the questions that I shared, how can I contribute to improve the current situation? That's the key to you. Pick an area that you want to start your business. You want to become an entrepreneur, which is amazing, which is great. Now, there's millions of businesses around the world. What are you going to do? What are you going to change? What is the key difference that you're going to make? Write it down. That's your goal.
Okay,
You
so
choose a, like look at what Mark Zuckerberg did. Facebook. He
yes,
connected people, right? Look at what Cisco did. They made the whole internet happen, right? When something does not exist, you got to think out of the box, you know, and just dream about what to change. There's always it's always possible to change stuff. You just can't become an entrepreneur tomorrow, right? You got to have a plan. You got to
Yes,
have a
sir.
goal, right? Choose something where your heart says, "Hey, this is my passion." Then write it down. That's your important and urgent goal. Work on it. Associate with talk to people, talk to your professors right from today. Day one is the day. Talk to your professor, talk to your director, and tell them, "Hey, here's my goal. This is what I want to achieve." And your professors here during this 2-year journey is going to help you and groom you towards your tomorrow's business. Towards tomorrow, it could be an invention, Sriram. But first, choose on what you have to do, and then work towards it. We don't want to just blindly jump in and say, "I want to become a entrepreneur." Tell me something specific. Tell me, I want to make a difference in the way storage happens on a computer. Kind of specific, right? I'm into something really specific. Now, you can say, "I want to make internet twice as speed as how it is right now." Work
Okay,
towards. Maybe you open a different company. Now, you want to make the environmental, eco-friendly vehicle. You want to make a bike that is not using petrol or diesel, right? Something that the world needs. Do that, and you're going to be the leader, Sriram. All the best.
okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sriram. Is there anybody else with a question?
Good morning, sir.
Yes, Arti. Good morning.
Sir, can you suggest me some few smart goal for time management, sir?
What goals was that? Can you say your question one more time, please?
Sir, suggest me some few smart goal for time management, sir.
Oh, look, time management is not easy. Time management is directly proportional to how you prioritize what you're doing. As simple as that.
Okay, sir.
So one of the slides I can Do you guys still see my screen or did I turn it off?
It's visible, sir.
It's visible. Very good. Now, so I put this here on the screen, RT, because this helped me a lot. Right? When I was doing a tech support kind of work 10 years ago, this was presented to me by my boss. I always had a lot of backlog of work which I was not able to complete on time. I was making a terrible mistake. There are certain work that needs to be addressed immediately, and there were certain work that could wait for like 2 days or 5 days. What I was doing is I picked up that work that I could have done next week, but I was working hours together to get that completed, while there was an urgent work that I should have completed today got missed. So when I go to my one-on-one with my boss and he says, hey, what are the list of things that you're doing? What's going on? Why did we miss this? When we both review this, I'm being very honest. This is something that happened to me, right? Arti, listen to me. Well, during that discussion, when we just wrote down the list of activities from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., here are the list of things that I did. Then we started to bucket it into these 4 categories. What I found was I was doing something which I could have done next week, which fell into the 4th category, not important, not urgent. And I spent 5 hours doing that, while there was something that was on the first quadrant, important, urgent, which I missed. That is when I was told by my boss that use this logic. Always. So in my work table, in my home office, I have a whiteboard, a huge whiteboard, where I have this 4 quadrants even now. When I do the list of my to-do activities, I just throw it into these 4 categories. That helps me. Try it out. It will definitely help. This is, for me, time management is equal to how you prioritize your work. It could be anything. It could be, hey, I want to spend 1 hour with my parents. I want to spend 2 hours playing with my kids. These are all something that I put into it, which makes me improve my time management skills. Does that make sense, Aarti?
Yes, sir.
Sure. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Perfect.
Thank you, Aarti. Thank you, sir. There's a question in the chat box from Ms. Keertana. She says, when we set a goal, we have certain time period and to accomplish that work. So how will you handle that situation when your plans collapse? Like how she is facing nowadays.
Excellent question. Amazing to whoever asked it. So everybody is working towards achieving something. Like you rightly pointed out in the question, there is always a chance to collapse. Don't get stressed out of whatever didn't work. Go back and see why it collapsed. Learn from what caused it to collapse. I'm not saying that from day one you should have a goal and plan in place so it cannot collapse. It's not in your control. There could be several things that can happen. I don't know how many of you saw the movie that came out recently, Surya's movie. Take that as an example. How many things happened that he had a goal, he had a dream, collapsed again and again and again. Keep trying. Go back and see what you've got to do so the next time it doesn't collapse. Does that answer the question? I think the movie is a good example.
I hope so, sir, as you rightly said. Keertana, I think the answer will be fine. So, is there anybody else who would like to ask questions? People, y'all can unmute and y'all can speak if y'all have any question, or y'all can raise your hand or text in the message box.
So let me tell something about what I'm doing, so that will maybe provoke people to ask questions. I handle a team that manages infrastructure for a hospital, which is number 4 in the US. What we do is when you get into any hospital, you would have seen an ICU behind the bed. There's a lot of monitors and medical equipment. These are all connected on a network, and we manage the hospital infrastructure. There's a lot of creative things that's happening here, which is not happening in the rest of the hospitals back in our place. We have a fetal monitoring system. A baby who's not born yet has a problem in the heart. Terrible. We have a sensor that monitors the heartbeat of a baby which is not born yet. And let me give you a few recent trends in healthcare that we're doing. AI, like I said, artificial intelligence, it's everywhere today. When I say we, as a company, I take the pride and say we do, when our doctors do a eye surgery, or let's say a cataract surgery, you got to replace a new lens, right? The computer does it today. The computer looks into all the angles and reflection, refraction, whatever the medical terms are, which I'm not sure of. Using AI, the lens, the power which goes into a patient's eye is determined by AI today. A few other examples. A patient who just underwent a surgery, say a cardiac surgery, his back is recovering. Usually if you go into a recovery ICU ward, you're going to have a lot of leads on the patient's body. He's going to be lying around. He cannot even go use the restroom. What we just did 2 years ago was go wireless. Now we have a telemetry system which the patient can put in his pocket, which has a lead that goes into his body, and he can just walk, relax. He is not tied to the bed anymore. These are the recent things that we're doing. When all of these new technologies in healthcare happen, one of the other I think I put it on this slide, cybersecurity. Did I capture that? Oh, maybe I missed that. That's another really, really demanding skill today. Cybersecurity. We got to protect the data on the internet. When things go out online, it's public. So how we encrypt it, how we make sure people can't do a brute force attack and capture the data. So there's a lot of hackers around, right? You know, they get the data and it's called a ransomware. They say, hey, I got a list of 100,000 patients that you have, and if you don't give me $1 million, we're going to release it out. So that's called a ransomware attack. There's a lot of such attacks. Cybersecurity is one of the hot areas today where we want to protect all these things. So I'm just throwing out examples. So back to the team. I think Kirtana has a question on the chat. Let me see what that is. What should someone do if others around them aren't supportive of their goals? Oh man, I'm not an emotional alchemist, but let me try to get that. I got one more. Do you have any experience in your life that you meet a more successful businessman? Did he share any personal things with you? More successful businessman in IT, yes. Okay, let's go to the first question. What should someone do if others around them aren't supportive of their goals? Now, this Kirtana, this is a very, very critical thing to handle. Now, first thing, if someone is not supportive of the goal, who is that someone? If that someone is close in your close circle, let's say it could be your friend, or it could be your classmate, it could be your family member, then you have all the rights to go and just politely talk to them and explain to them, hey, here's what I'm trying to do. Help me. Just be straightforward. Go tell them. Now, if that someone is somebody who you can avoid, just avoid them. It's somebody who's not in your close circle, but who at some point, so one of the things that I put on my slide here, let me take examples from what I wrote. Do I associate with the right people who can help achieve my goals? This is one of the key items that I wanted you guys to start today. Now, if you feel like somebody is not supportive, he's not the right people. You got to disassociate and associate with the right people. Now, if, like I said, if that someone is in your close circle where you are not able to disassociate, you got to go tell them and explain it to them, and I'm sure they'll support you. Did that answer, Kirtana? I'm just trying to do my best. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Carolyn. I got one more on the chat, Carolyn. Do I have time?
Yes, sir, you have.
All right, perfect. Kirtana, good. All right, good morning. Do you have any experience in your life that you meet a more successful businessman and he shared any personal things? What do you mean by personal things with you? Sri Vignesh. I've met successful people, yes. Not a businessman per se. I've met really successful people who hit the top in the field of IT. I'm totally immersed into IT. And let me give you an example. A CTO. He didn't share any personal things with me. I don't want to hear personal things, but I don't know what you meant by that. But I've learned qualities from top leaders in the market. I've seen them on how they manage a crisis. When you get to become a leader, when you get to manage people, managing technology is easier. Managing people is tougher. Managing technology is easier. When I was just an engineer, I thought technical skill set is the most essential, and it's tough. It's the very, very tough skill set in the world. But when I get to managing people, then I realized, oh man, managing a group of people is headache. I wish I'd go back to managing just technology. So I learned how to do people management and how to do crisis management by looking at some successful leaders. So that's all I wanted to share on that note. Sriram. Oh, I like the way all of you have MBA on your name. Amazing. Sriram MBA, Priyadarshini MBA. Very good. Priyadarshini, I think, next. Apart from academic syllabus, what all students should do side by side while studying in the college? I have just one slide to answer all of your questions. Look at my first question. Am I up to date in new trending items in my domain? Let me rephrase that a little bit. Priyadarshini. Let's say, Priyadarshini, your goal was to invent a mobile application, an app on an iPhone that could help on healthcare. I'm just figuring it out. I'm just cooking it up. It's you have a goal that you set today on your day one on your MBA. It does not necessarily have to be on your syllabus. What you read is what your syllabus has in the next 2 years is going to guide you and groom you towards your goal. Some of us may be lucky. Our goal may be directly in one of the subjects and you get to learn about it. It need not be like that. It could be something completely out of your syllabus. Did Mark Zuckerberg learn about how to invent Facebook? No, it's out of the box. Now, but what he did was he learned coding and he learned whatever is required to develop the product. Now, Priyadarshini, to straight away answer your question, your syllabus is extremely important. Don't take me wrong here. Everything that you're going to study in the next 2 years is 100% going to help you get to your goal. That's not enough. You got to go beyond and read. You got the internet, read about it. Maybe you go to like the director of your group said, Dr. Bhamini mentioned, go open a LinkedIn. You're going to see somebody who's an expert in that domain. Go associate with them. My third question, do I associate? Use LinkedIn as the platform. Go talk to them. Tell them, hey, I'm beginning. Here's my goal. Give me the tips. They're going to help you. Go. You got to Priyadarshini, you got to understand what is needed to achieve your goal and read about it, associate with the right people. That's how you start. And then you get the spark and then you invent whatever you want to do. Right? Good luck. Sriram, second question, huh? No, first question. Sriram, sir, I think problem needs to be solved with a plan which should be cooperated by teammates in the situation. We need to share all other suggestions and ideas to get scoped. One more time. Let me read it again. Man, amazing. You guys, I can't believe that it's the day one that you're asking me this question. We need to share. Absolutely, Sriram. Here's what we do. Let me give you an example. So, like I said, I work for a hospital, but into IT, right? We do IT for a hospital. Our goal is to have 100% of uptime. There should be no downtime, but there's always a but. Sometimes we end up hitting a really bad outage. When a really bad outage happens in the hospital, patient care is directly impacted. We will not be able to transfer patients. Let's say a patient needs an urgent CT scan. If the IT related stuff is broke, there's a lot of headache in the background. You cannot move a patient, you cannot admit a patient, you cannot discharge a patient, you cannot transfer X-ray images. There's a lot of things that happen. When such kind of problems happen, we go jump into a meeting, we go on site, somehow we end up fixing it. Let's say in an hour, we fix it. Then comes root cause analysis. I'm just going by your question and giving you a straight answer. Problems need to be solved with a plan and it needs to be discussed. 100%. When we end up having outages in the hospital and then after we fix it, we got to present a root cause analysis. We don't know what triggered the problem. All the architects, IT architects, we sit together, we brainstorm, we discuss, and every time when we do that, we get to the trigger. We get to what really caused the problem. And then, so there was a problem, which we did not want to happen, but it happened. We fixed it. As a team, we consulted, we discussed, got all suggestions. We got to a point, we identify the trigger. After we identify the trigger, then we have a plan of action to make sure the same problem does not happen again. The same thing happens every time. Without the team effort and discussion, we can never get to identifying the trigger for a problem. Always work as a team. Sriram, I think that answered yours. Oh, I'd love to hear you guys talk, but that's okay. Tyra, how will you handle your pressure when many problems arise at the same time? Ooh, this is something that I'm really good at. So pressures, there's some different types of pressure that you get to handle. Pressure due to work, or pressure due to the amount of work that you have, or pressure due to some goal that you have that you are not able to complete. Let me tell you today, there's always pressure. And your question is straight. You're asking me how you handle the pressure. Let me read it again. How will you handle your pressure? There could be a really, really huge problem that you're trying to solve. Have you heard about the question, how to eat an elephant? The answer is one bite at a time. It's funny, but you got to break your problem into smaller problems. You got to break your pressure into smaller pressures. When you can't handle a big pressure all by itself, just slice it. If slice it into 4 different small problems or small pressures and try to handle it. When the intensity of the pressure gets lower, it will be easier than you handling a huge pressure. Think about how to break that into a smaller pressure point and throw it away one at a time. Let's see if that helps. Carolyn, how much time do we have? We have a few more questions. I want to be cautious of the time.
So we can continue. We have time, we can continue.
Great. So there's a lot of questions on the chat, but let's give it an opportunity for somebody who's waiting on the call who wanted to talk. Is there anybody who wanted to voice it out?
Yes, sir. We have Sriram and Pari.
Go ahead. I think we spoke to Sriram already, but whoever first. Sriram or Pari, go ahead.
Sir, actually I am typing the question. You can wait for another guy. You can ask another guy for some time.
That's all right, Sriram. Sir, there's a question on the YouTube from Ms. Ajita. She says, I know HR is a competitive sector, but what are the qualities that she should improve to be more competitive?
No, let me get the question first.
Yeah, I would like to repeat. She says HR is a competitive sector, and what are the qualities that she should improve to be more competitive?
So here's a statement and here's a question in here. So HR is a competitive sector, period. So that's decided. So she wants to know, what should she inculcate to become a better HR personality? Did I get that right?
Yes.
So I don't have a straight answer to this. I don't want to cook up something. I'm not. I've never worked into the HR related stuff. I'm a hardcore techie. But let me think about it. So, what you got to do to become a better HR? Treat people equally, I would say, based on some experiences. I'm just thinking about it. Listen carefully to people. Understand the problems. HR is more like problem solvers, right? Everybody is going to go, hey, I'm not getting enough salary. My boss is not treating me well. And it's a very, very critical team to be with. Now, I would say, don't be biased. Treat everybody equally. Listen very carefully. Listening to the problem is really important. The term itself is human resource. Treat them human. Understand what the real problem situation is. If you don't have an answer, if you are not able to solve that straight away as a HR, go talk to your manager or your peers. Get clarity and be sure that the decision that you make is 100% right. If you don't make a right decision as an HR, you may end up firing the right person from a company, which is not good. So to be a successful HR, I think these are the few things that I just suggest based on what I've seen. Any other questions from YouTube?
No, sir. There are a few other questions in the chat box.
Let me look at that. Philip Sebastian. Good morning, Philip. I'm just reading your question here. I'm from the base of art. In this case, I can't create any codings or I can't design any machines which is going to make an innovation in business. So, what I can do to prove myself or to be successful in my business life? Why do you think like that, Philip? You don't have to be a coder, or you don't have to have an engineering background to be a successful businessman. It all depends on your goal, right? Now, your goal definitely has to be something that you're passionate about. Let me give you a sweet example. Since you mentioned that you are from the arts background. When I was doing my undergrad, I did my undergrad and post-graduation in physics. I love it. And that love for physics ended up getting into wireless and networking and electronics. That's the base. Coming back to the subject, Philip. During my undergrad, I used to go in a public bus to my college. And one of my friend who lives in the same area as me, we traveled together in the bus. He, in his 12th standard, scored over 1,000 marks. At that time, scoring over 1,000 was huge. Today, it's different. He did study his science and math in his 12th standard. But here's the main thing. He picked BA English Literature. I was surprised. A few weeks down, as we are traveling to the college, coming back, we all go in and come back together. I asked him, hey, why the hell did you do BA English Literature when you have scored such a huge score in your 12th standard? He said, here's the most important answer for you, Philip. He said he is preparing for UPSC. His goal was UPSC. And he just wanted to learn English as a language while he prepares for UPSC. I didn't understand. I didn't even know what is UPSC at that time. Then I asked him, hey, if that is the case, why did you pick maths and science in the 12th standard? He said, I still wanted to know the basic, at least at the school level, which is going to help him. You know, today, he's a superintendent of police. He's an IPS officer. His goal, he was an arts guy. His goal was different. And he had a plan. He invested time on it, and he achieved, Sebastian. So just take that as an example. Going in arts, so your goal can be different. I'm not asking you to become an IAS or IPS officer tomorrow. You can. You're an MBA. With an MBA, if your goal, Philip, is to go crack an IAS and become a administrative officer, go for it. Now is the time. Today, start today. I think I answered that, Philip. Man, I want to skip a few questions. Thank you, sir. So let me read another one. I think from Sriram. Scopes of managing body may change according to the demands of the people who find useful, and it should be common for everyone. How it can be achieved without hesitating? I'm not able to get it. Let me try it one more time. Sriram. Sriram, I'm not getting a grip of your question, my friend. You want to, let's talk, man. Come on, ask me a question over the phone.
Hi, sir.
Yeah.
Actually, what I'm asking for is when a managing body asks for some demands to the employees to make cooperate with the public they used to work with. How can they answer in a common way without hesitating at the people's request to them?
Let me try to. I'm just trying to capture your question, Sriram. Could you please one more time repeat your question? I'm sorry.
Actually, I have an experience in working in a hospital as a billing staff. I get more and more demands and requests to change the ideas of working in the working place. Because it should be useful and to all the people coming there. But it should be decided by the managing body. But we can't decide in that position. We are just an employee there.
Correct.
How can we change the idea of a managing body to get useful to everyone? I want a common.
Amazing. Got it, Sriram. Now, let me simplify your question. I'm an employee of an organization, and I see something in my office that is not happening the way it should be. And as an employee, I don't have the power to go and change that. It's above my pay grade to do that. The managers or the people higher up the ladder has to make the change. So Sriram, I think your question is, as a staff, as an employee of a company, when I see something which is not right, what should I do, right? Now, this is This is not easy. It all depends on the type of boss that you have, Sriram. So it sometimes works, sometimes it does not. Like the example that you gave in the billing department that you worked, and you saw something that you want to change, go ahead and voice it out. Sometimes voicing it out inside a room may not work. They may ignore you. It all, like I said, it all depends on the boss. If the boss is really interested in solving the problem, he's going to be in support of you. He may be otherwise also, right? Put it in written. If your organization has an email, you don't want to send an email blast to everybody. That's not good at all. Don't always broadcast an email complaint. Go one-on-one. Write an email. See if that works. If that does not work, if you have an HR it's associated to the organization, you got to go in that route. You can't take the wrong route to solve this problem. Go do the right way. It may take time. Go one step at a time. Go talk to them, write to them, then go one step more, explain, maybe talk to the HR. Did I give you the right response, Sriram?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I understand that we need to wait for the perfect time to get into the position and make some decision to change the ideas of any bodies.
Absolutely.
We need to get the chance.
Absolutely, Sriram. Now, one thing as a leader, one thing that will help you is when you are a staff, when you are just an employee, when you saw something which you know that which was not right, write it down. Like I said, write down your goals, write down certain things that you feel that which is not good. Why I'm asking you to write it down is because when you become a leader 2 years later, you want to make sure that does not happen again. So that's also a learning for you. Things that are not good, not the right way, learn about it. So you don't do it as a leader tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All the best, Sriram.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sriram. We have come to the fair end of the session today. Thank you, dear students, and thank you so much, sir. The session certainly benefited us, and it was very interactive. Thank you for the key takeaways on goal, time management, and skills in demand today, and patiently answering all our questions. Now I request Dr. Pon Meenakshi, Professor, to deliver the word of thanks.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, all. First of all, I would like to thank our principal, sir, and our director, ma'am, for arranging this program. On behalf of our institute, I would like to thank our chief guest, Mr. Victor Vasant Kumar, for taking his precious time out and consenting to be the chief guest. We are proud to honor you in this occasion. In this first session itself, you have thrown light on goal plan and time management as well. We like to thank our students, the way in which they enlighten their knowledge. It shows that they are befitting this profession. Thank you for your wonderful real-time example at the end, sir. Once again, thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So we would like to hear from you. A few words at the end.
Was that to me, Kevin?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. So, good luck. First of all, this is an amazing opportunity, and you have got yourself into a wonderful institution which has a big history. Not everybody gets this opportunity. Make use of every day. Success is not easy, and success is not too far away. Keep in mind in today's session, there's two key takeaways for you: your goal and your time. You should have a goal, and you should invest your time towards that goal. Good luck and have an amazing future.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, students. We shall meet tomorrow at the same time for the session from Mr. Sriram, kirakadai.com, and on entrepreneurship. Thank you, everyone.
Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.